Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight I've got a little treat for you guys. I'm not in a battleship. Hey, look at that, I'm in a Kagero. Now it's been a while since I've been in the Kagero in a video, so I thought, you know what, why not? Why not? And I'm not going to be one of those guys that comes out and says, oh, you know, I always have such great games and I just don't record. No. We all know I suck in destroyers. It's just the way it is. But you can't really get better at things unless you do them, right? You can't always rely on what you're best at. If that's the case, then I would have never gotten off of artillery in World of Tanks console. I would have been stuck there forever. But I didn't. I ended up moving out of artillery and tank destroyers and moving into the world of heavy tanks, medium tanks, and light tanks, and actually made myself pretty, competent in all three of those, making myself a pretty well-rounded player. And that's what I strive to be in World of Warships as well. And I do an okay job. So this week we're going to have some focuses in things that are not necessarily battleships. And you guys will have to let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see more of it? I know we all like the battleship gameplay. Oh, look at that beautiful salvo of torpedoes just ready to make people miserable. It's going to be fun. Now, why do I use the Kagero so much? Well, first of all, it's practically invisible. Doesn't have the best guns, but, those double turrets do come in handy, even with its slow rate of fire of 10 and a half seconds. Not preferable, but fully capable. And why am I on armor piercing? Oh yeah, that's right. I was against a cruiser the last time, and he was broadside on, and I was trying to kill him faster than he killed me. Unfortunately, I failed because of that 10 and a half second reload time on 127mm guns. Ouch. But we're gonna try to do everything we can, and there's our first torpedo hit, and of course it causes flooding because every torpedo seems to always cause flooding. Hey, we got another torpedo hit, and just like that, we're up to 34,000 damage. It's not bad. Not bad. Now, I don't have my torps back yet, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that I prefer the Akatsuki over this thing. Having that extra set of torpedoes comes in handy. Now, yes, you get 5 torpedoes each, which ends up giving you a total of 10 torpedoes. But having the ability to drop 3 separate sets comes in handy so often. And yes, you get 1 torpedo less, but I feel like I did a better job of hitting things more often with that than I did with these, quintuple launchers. But, we're gonna give them the best we can. Now, I assume the Scharnhorst knows these are coming and is going to avoid the majority of them forward, and I'm gonna catch him with the rears. I was wrong. He's gonna keep sailing in a straight line. Unfortunate, but, it happens. I'm trying to get better at assuming what the person's course of action is going to be, and assuming when they're going to find out that the torpedoes are there. And I've been watching quite a bit of launching and failing, and hi, Benson. Are you? Oh, yep, you've wandered inside my 5.2. Now, I know that this isn't... Oh, and we took all of the health. Are we going to finish him off? We got 2 hits and 2 more floodings. Is he going to sink? I think he is. Down goes the Scharnhorst. We got the kill. Now this Benson has no idea what he's doing, and that's good because it makes 2 of us, really, because he's shooting armor piercing at us and failing miserably, and we're shooting HE at him and missing completely because, we're bad. I freak out a little bit in Japanese destroyers when I'm forced to get into a gunfight with ships that I know are far superior firepower-wise because of the slow reload time of this thing. But in this case, I didn't need to freak out because he was firing armor piercing for the first, several, salvos. And when he did finally switch to HE, you can see just how quickly he damages the ship. It's not preferable. This thing gets citadel pretty nastily by high explosive of any caliber. But we did do significant damage, and we've got plenty of teammates there ready to feast on him, and down he goes. And that leaves this cruiser that we got to hit on early with the Scharnhorst, and we're going to start making our way across the map. Now, notice my team on the other side and where they're headed. Notice this, I think it was an Aoba, wasn't it? I can't remember if it was an Aoba. It's definitely a Japanese cruiser, I believe. Miyoko. See, I was close. Why was I thinking Aoba? It's tier 7, you dummy. That would be either the tier 6 or the tier 7 Japanese cruiser. Definitely not an Aoba. I'm a dummy. But y'all already knew that. But we're going to go hunting across the center of the map. We can see the last knowns of the bad guys. Our team is retreating heavily for some reason. But I guess, you know, 3 battleships all seeming to be broadside on to everybody on the enemy team. And they're probably taking torpedoes at this point, or at least, you know, in danger of taking torpedoes. And they're trying to regroup closer to the base to defend the base. I don't feel like getting in a 1v1 with a Japanese cruiser, because Japanese get the better HE and cruisers get the better of destroyers anyway. So I don't really want to get into that fight. So instead, I opt to come across the map and try to help my team intercept these guys and try to find the destroyer. Now, the destroyer that's left is the British Tier 7 destroyer, and that is the Lightning. I was getting tongue-tied. I knew what I was trying to say, but my brain wasn't my mouth wasn't listening to my brain. I'm sure we've all had that issue at, you know, some point or another. But as we cross the center of the map, and I know I'm just feeling time, I just want to say, hope you had a great weekend. I know I had an interesting weekend. I hope you guys did as well, or at least not necessarily interesting as much as just had a good weekend altogether. Mine was interesting. I got off work after, you know, a rough week filling in for the boss unexpectedly, and then ended up getting home Friday, and of course I'm house sitting for my sister, right? So I get home Friday after a rough week. I'm ready to just relax. And I come home and her cable's out. Cable and internet, because they're both cable. Both out. And I'm like, you know what? That's just the way it goes. I'm going to bed. So I couldn't upload a video Friday. I'm sure some of you guys noticed. And I just went to bed. I don't even remember what time it was. I think it was like 7 o'clock at night when I decided to just hang it up and say, well, I guess nothing's coming on. So I was just like, done. I'm done. Going to bed. And we've all done that as well. Now, we have found the Lightning, and this is not a position I want to be in. Luckily, he throws smoke, which means I don't have to. However, there are battleships and cruisers right there, and I'm trying to lay a smoke screen for my cruisers on the backside of this island so that they can come around and give support fire. But I noticed that juicy Iowa out there, and I'm just thinking, ooh, you know, he hasn't had torpedoes sent in his direction the entire game. I'm going to send some over there and just test the waters and see if he sails in a straight line. And unfortunately, he had started turning away for some reason. So I don't know if he saw those torpedoes coming from the destroyer, or, you know, because I got spotted, or he just, you know, I got spotted and he's like, no thank you. He's obviously launching torpedoes at me. No. You know, there could be a million reasons why he changed course, but the fact remains that he did change course and we completely missed. We have 4 torpedo hits, 20 main battery hits, and we're at 74,000 damage. Not a bad game for me in a destroyer. You know, usually I'm at the very low end of the spectrum when it comes to damage. And I've had some great games, but it's usually because the enemy is completely dumb and in no, like, reference to how good I am. Like my Benson game where I put up, what was it, 186,000 damage in a destroyer. That's stupid damage. But when you get a bunch of tier 7 battleships sailing in straight lines, you can generally get away with, you know, really high damage games. When you think about one Iowa going in a straight line is 70,000 damage, at least. So it adds up pretty quick is what I'm saying. You don't necessarily have to be good. The enemy just has to be dumb. And I want to get good in destroyers eventually. I'm not there yet. I got a long ways to go. But I wasn't the best at battleships. Still ain't the best at battleships. But I'm competent and confident in my ability in a battleship. I am not confident in my abilities in destroyers and cruisers. And that is something I wish to remedy. preferably before aircraft carriers come out at the end of next year. Well, if they come out at all. That is one of the questions I get asked all the time. Spartan, when is the aircraft carriers coming? First of all, there's a lot of people that don't want aircraft carriers for obvious reasons. It completely changes how everybody has to play the game. Second of all, they have said that they're not sure that it's coming to console. And if it does come to console, it will be late 2020 at the earliest. So late next year at the earliest. Now, this Iowa was stopped. I can tell his smoke screen's gone. Or not a smoke screen. His smokestacks aren't putting out smoke. He is stationary. So I go ahead and give him all the beans. I'm just like, kill the Iowa! I get 3 hits. Can I get a 4th? I know it takes 4 to kill it. Are you joking with me right now? Darn it! Spartan, how do you know it takes 4 Japanese torpedoes to kill an Iowa? Hello? My #1 ship is an Iowa. I know what it takes to kill an Iowa. And unfortunately, we come up 1 torpedo short of finishing him off. So, I know that there's a lot of people in this area. There's also that lightning that's still an issue. And we're just trying to give our team a spotting / torpedo awareness buff. Okay? I am the smokescreen. Okay? I am the guy that's running around trying to find the torpedoes before they catch our Bismarck, preferably. I think this is Bismarck, wasn't it? I don't remember. But, you know, he charges out ahead of me and takes one of the torpedoes, which is perfect for me because I probably would have ate that having lost my steering and propulsion. Well, at least my propulsion, right as the torpedo was headed my direction. Now, I launched a wide berth. I was just like, give everybody the torpedoes because there's so many ships in the area, I want a chance of hitting every one of them. And I had a chance. I unfortunately did not hit any of them. Which is impressive when you think about it. There were 4 ships in a very small area, and I sent 10 torpedoes in a wide spread, and somehow they managed to miss every last one of them. Pretty impressive level of just, you know, idiocy at best. Or at least just being unlucky. I mean, I don't think anybody else would have done that really any differently. Maybe instead of a wide, I should have just launched, you know, narrow spread. Surely, the narrow spread would be a better way here, right? Just throw the narrows out there and see what happens. Now, as you can see, I'm rushing the smokescreen-ish, trying not to get obliterated, but at the same time, trying to get some shots. Now, the Atago, or the Atago, you know how I go. Anyway, makes himself a target, but the Lightning makes himself a target as well. Now, unfortunately, the Atago dies in the perfect position to intercept some of my torpedoes. It's unfortunate, but it is the thing. And this Lightning is starting to get the better of me because I can't shoot. Obviously. And just as I get ready to fire the last salvo, he kills me. Getting, what, about 1,200 damage, I think, in that last salvo that he fired at me. Not bad. But I finished the game with 120,000 damage, which for me and a destroyer is fantastic. Like, I was over the moon. I was like, oh my god, it's been so long since I've had this good of a game in a destroyer. But luckily, it's really not an issue because we did enough damage and we caused enough chaos long enough that we have the majority of our team left, and we already inflicted significant damage to that Iowa, and down he goes. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to see me try to learn to play these other classes better, let me know. Put a note down there in the comments. As you can see, we did all right for ourselves, bringing in 330,000 silver. You know, trying to keep our silver earnings up for that, you know, new Tier 7 at some point in the near future. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.